Check, check, check. Hopefully y'all can hear me. How's everyone doing? Hope you all are doing well. It's been about a week since I've last streamed. It's been a minute, so yeah. Here, let me arrange this real quick. But yeah, if you're watching, hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Today is Monday, September 23rd, 5:51 p.m. About 20 minutes late, unfortunately. But we're here. We still made it. I had a pretty exhausting day, so I'm happy to have just made it regardless of being late. And unfortunately, I can't stream tomorrow, so I'm extra glad I am streaming today, working on projects. Again, it's been about a week since the last stream. Life got in the way of a lot of things. Also, I just realized my music isn't going through my headset. How strange. Oh, is it? Is it just really soft? Yeah, it is going through my headset. I just made it a little too soft. Sounded like it wasn't even coming from my headset. That was coming from my speakers over here. So yeah, just turned it up a little bit. Hopefully you can hear it a little bit now and it's not too loud. But here, let me go live over on Instagram, get that started. Since I have to do that separately, one moment. For some reason, lately when I type, when I use my command to type out my Instagram comment that I'm live over on Twitch and YouTube, it always misspells it for some reason or adds a period when there's no period there to begin with, so it's very strange. But here I'm finally pinning that comment now, just so people know that there's better places to watch the stream. Again, I just kind of go live over there because it's easier. Oh, let me set up YouTube too. Not easier, sorry. It's because I have more of a following over there so people can actually figure out where I'm live. Am I live on Twitch? Yes, I am. Well, anyway, sorry about that. Just needed to make sure that was all set up and ready to go. Here, let me skip this song. It's a little too too chill. But yeah, so let me copy last stream's board from the 18th. We'll go ahead and we'll get started here. Been a minute, so I might have to spend some extra time refreshing myself. So that was the 21st stream board. Today is the 22nd. Hopefully this week, I can't remember if I have anything else going on, but hopefully I can still stream Wednesday and Thursday like normal. It's just Tuesday I can't stream like normal. So here, 22nd stream board. Today is September 23rd, 2024. We'll paste our board in from last week. There we go. These are some screenshots of the animation I made last week, so that was pretty fun. Got some weird colors that I'm not sure how some of these colors even happened or existed, but hey, it's kind of cool that we can make improvisational drawings with code. And yeah, here, let's start by going over what we did last time. So we recapped the last stream. I briefly showed, I think I still have it, yes, I still have it on my table here. Briefly showed that I got hold on, sorry, moving my microphone around. A physical copy of The Nature of Code by Daniel Schiffman, the person whose tutorials we've been working from, so that's pretty cool. Wanted to share that with y'all, that he has a new book out. That looks exciting. I might work from on stream because you can really access the full book here at the link. Then what else do we do? We re-reviewed the stream before. Oh, sorry, not the stream before. Well, we did do that, but then we re-reviewed, took notes, and completed the variables creating your own chapter and processing. So we learned how to create our own variables inside of processing. So that was pretty cool. I'll show this code that I made in just a moment. Excuse me. Talked very briefly about this book up here, Aesthetic Animism on Digital Poetry. A book that I didn't fully consider, but I was part of a class that I took in college, and I end up going back to it a lot to see different artists and specifically people using code for digital poetry. But anyways, then we completed the assignment, which I'm about to show now from the variables create your own chapter. And then we made agenda for today. And I think today, actually before I show this, here, I'll X out of that for now. Before I show the sketch from last time, I'll say our agenda for today is that we reviewed what we completed last semester, which we just did. So we already got one out of the way. Then we'll begin the next chapter, and that's it. So yeah, I'm excited for this stream because I feel like it's been a while since we can just focus on tutorial and not work on assignment, which, you know what, working on the assignments, I love that too. But I'm happy to be back into tutorial mode instead of kind of assignment mode from the tutorials. But here, let me copy and paste this from last time. The agenda for today's stream. Also, I forgot to change, I think it said the 18th for both today's stream and the next stream. Yeah, I never changed that. So Sunday, which we didn't do a stream on Sunday, but that was 22nd yesterday. So here, let me alter that just to make sure that's written correctly when I go back to it. Cool. And we'll go back to today's board. Today's the 23rd. What day of the week was the 18th? That was the last stream, right? The 18th? Yeah, what day of the week was that? It was a Wednesday. Wow. So yeah, almost a week here, unfortunately. Hopefully that doesn't happen again for a while. Wednesday. Then we'll begin the chapter. Oh yeah, let me show, before we get into the chapter, let me show what the animation we made last time. So this is the code here. I ran into some issues. For example, some of the ways we changed alpha, which represents transparency, for some reason that would affect the colors of some of them and turn them this like bright color I didn't intend, or turn them completely gray. So that was very strange. So I had to be very peculiar with what numbers I was choosing to represent alpha. I have no idea what that is. I probably won't learn for a while, but that's okay. I think it's not important right now. Also, you have to see how thin I had to make the stroke weight, which represents the outline of each shape in this drawing. I had to make that extremely thin. As you can see, I even added more zeros than that, but processing told me that that was not possible to do. And even reference just general programming advice, like a blog, which was kind of funny, I remember. And then, yeah, as recommended by Joe, we had Zelda as the name of our own variable, and there it is here. Start with the float up here, which initialized and defines the variable. Then we utilized the variable below, and this was a, what's the word for it? Here, I'm gonna delete these notes in just a second because they're really from last stream. Incrementation operation. So this told the variable to increase over time, which is what causes the animation to move. So yeah, let's take a look at that here. If I hit play, run the sketch. Let me start that again because it started off the screen if you're on Instagram, but this is what it looks like. And just kind of goes on forever. But mostly till it goes off the screen. But yeah, I can see there's some weird colors going on that I'm sure are from all the transparencies, but I don't even understand exactly how they're happening. So it's kind of interesting. See, this is still moving here. I think if I click on the screen, yep, it starts the animation all over. So I can restart it like that. Cool. But anyways, that's everything from last time. Here, let me delete all these notes because we spent the last 2 streams now working on it. Going to also delete the screenshots of the drawing here, as well as the book info from last time, because that's not really what we're doing today here. And what's this next chapter called? I'm gonna start my notes for it. So this next chapter is called Variables, Incrementation Operations. Oh, I think this one's super short too. I think he added it after the fact, if I remember how it was set up, because we've already talked about incrementation operations a little bit. So I'll say notes from, actually let me remove the bullet point here. How did we say it? How did we title the notes? We titled them notes, yeah, notes from name of chapter, and that's it. We start bullet points below, and I'll bold the title afterwards, but excuse me, I don't want to do that yet because it'll make everything bold afterwards, which is an annoying fact about the software freeform, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't keep doing that in the future. I'm also gonna move this down a little bit so it's closer. There we go. Cool, and then this is the guide we'll be working from today. I'll put it on screen in just 1 second. I'm trying to find my browser, here we go. So yeah, this is what we're working from today. I'll put a link to it in chat as well. Paste it over here as well. Cool. Oh, someone's sorry in person. I'm not sure if you're still watching me, Alberto, John. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I didn't see your chat come up on my screen because for some reason Twitch flagged you. I'm not sure why that is. Here, let me unflag you. Let me see. Cool. I just stopped restriction on your messages for some reason. Sorry about that, Alberta. I hope if you're still watching, feel free to say hi. Your chats should show up for me now and should show up on the screen. So yeah, sorry about that. It's a weird thing going on with Twitch. Thank you for reading my chat. Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by the stream. We're just working on coding and making some fun little drawings. Now you're good. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Here, let me find where we left off in this tutorial we've been working from. Can I follow you? Yeah, sure. If you want, anyone can follow me. What's the name of today's? Variables, Incrementations, Operations. Oh, it's not as short as I thought it was, but here, we'll start here. Is there anything else I need to set up? Got my notes here. Yeah, I think we're good. So here, again, this is the code we're working from on the screen here. Let me pause the music and we'll get into it.
All right, welcome back. I am about to talk about random numbers, which is very exciting, but
thanks for the follow. Thank you.
before I get there, I just want to look at this statement, circle x equals circle x plus 5, a bit more, and talk about a kind of odd syntax thing that occurs in a lot of processing examples that you
I wonder if he's going to talk about one of the issues I had before.
have already seen or certainly will see. So this kind of statement where you're taking a variable and increasing it by some amount, by 1, by 5, by 10, etc. This is something that is everywhere. It's just, you write it all the time in code. And so anything that's really common in programming, typically there are programmers who have figured out a shorthand way of writing it. And this is no exception. A shorthand way of writing this is actually the following. Circle x plus equals 5. And this means that if I wanted to increase circle x by 1, I could say circle x plus equals 1. So this is take the value of circle x and set it to itself plus 1. Well, this operation is so common whenever you want to increment something by 1 that there's even a shorthand for the shorthand, which is the following. Circle x plus plus. This might be familiar to you. Maybe you've heard of the programming language C++. Well, the reason why it's called C++ is because there was a programming language, and still is a programming language called C, and the next version of it, the expanded version, incremented by 1, it's a little fancier, it's brand new, it's not C, it's C++. And there will come a time, even in this series, where I start using these shorthands, but generally, for me, for what I'm trying to do in teaching the basics of programming, and certainly I think when starting out, I find this to be a more readable line of code that says exactly what it's doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow along. I guess he's just teaching shorthands here. As he referred to it, this code is short for that code, which is short for that. Which I always have mixed opinions on. I think if you're really knowledgeable about the code, those kinds of things can be helpful. But if you're like me, and he kind of already said this, but if you're like me, you're just starting out, writing it all the way out makes a lot more sense, so you can see exactly what's happening. Whereas if you just see circle x++, that is kind of, that doesn't really make sense to it. It's like, what's happening there? At least it doesn't make as much sense as just seeing this top line here. So anyways, here, I'll keep watching. I'll take my notes after, just because I might need to rewatch it to absorb it properly.
And finally, I'll also mention that these kinds of shorthand operations also work with multiply.
Thank you for the nice comment. Thank you, Alberto.
Divide, and minus. So I could say circle x minus minus, which means circle x equals circle x minus 1, or I could say something like circle x divide equal 2, which means circle x equals circle x divided by 2. Coming back to the code, just to prove that this is the case, I'm going to change this to plus equal 5 and run it. The exact same result. And if I change it to circle x plus plus, there it is, only it's just increasing by 1 because plus plus means increase by 1. I'm a little torn about what I'm about to do, but this is also probably a good time for me to just change the variable name circle x to just x. And then say x plus equals 5. This is also another personal style thing. What should I name the variable? Well, if I'm going to have a circle and a square, maybe I want to have variables called...
What kind of multimedia art do you do? Can you tell me about that if you don't mind? Yeah, eventually I want to move more into making sculptures, but before I would make multimedia sound art, experimental music performances where I would have like multi-speaker setups that I would perform inside of, and alter the lighting with these like controllers that I would build, or pre-existing controllers that I would use to alter the music. So yeah, a lot of coding stuff, but I would mostly use a software called Max MSP, which I can show in 1 second. Oh, it's taking forever to load. Maybe it needs an update or something. Oh, here we go. But yeah, you can create these objects. And the reason I'm saying this is you can create objects, connect them with lines. I'm trying to think of a good example. And then you can connect them to other objects. So I'll say, sorry, I see your message, 1 second. So if I connect this to this, this probably won't do anything, but yeah, it's an audio programming, visual programming software. And yeah, what I'm trying to do on this stream is learn how text-based coding to make my own video games as a part of my practice. By the way, I'm a digital artist. Cool, very cool. Got you. Yeah, very weird stuff. It's I want to move more towards sculpture and building video games and such. I still want sound art and experimental music to be a part of my practice, but utilize that background to more encompassing processes. By encompassing, I mean more visual elements. That's the part that I really want to improve and work on in my work. Best of luck. Thank you. Cool. So yeah, I'll jump right back in.
X and
And my work too isn't just technique too. Trying to think of how else I can describe it. It's been a while since I've made like proper art piece stuff. Share it online, but eventually I'll update my YouTube channel with some of the things I've been working on. But anyways, we'll jump back into the tutorial for now.
X to really differentiate them. But if I just have one thing and I only have one thing for which I need one.
Do you have any portfolio? Yeah, it's all part of this Twitch page. You can see it linked there.
Maybe calling it X is fine. I could have, if I had multiple things, I could have an X1 and an X2. There's so many different ways to name your variables. And frankly, I could just call this kitten. And I could copy paste it here and use kitten everywhere because I love kittens. And that's what I feel like today. I feel like calling my variables kitten. Probably not a great idea because it doesn't really tell me about anything that I'm actually doing with the code, even though it brings me a little happiness to see the word kitten there. But I can't tell you what to do. You should name variables in a way that makes sense to you, that will be helpful to you as you work on the code more, as you take a break from it and come back to it later. Think about what is going to have the most meaning for you. And for me right now, I'm gonna go back to X, because that's the least amount of typing, and I have one thing, and I want it to be at its X position. That's gonna work just great.
All right, yeah, let me go through that again one more time. It wasn't too long, just so I can take proper notes. I feel like the parts I was gonna take notes on were really the beginning. I feel like the second half with just the kitten as an example made a lot of sense. You know, it was pretty straightforward from what we've learned previously, but it was the first part that had to, where the shortening of each line of code is what I had to like really think about and work on and take notes about. And welcome, Joe. You're perfectly on time for us to revisit this chapter again. Just finished watching this really short chapter in the video, and we're about to rewatch it so I can take notes. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well, dude. Hope you're doing very, very well.
All right, welcome back. I am about to talk about random numbers, which is
How was your day? Did you have Harry's? Did you do anything fun?
exciting. But before I get there, I just want to look at this statement, circle x equals circle x plus 5, a bit more and talk about a kind of odd syntax thing that occurs in a lot of processing examples that you might have already seen or certainly will see. So this kind of...
I got a new chair. Nice. Very cool. Is this like a office chair or work chair? So I didn't get to see my homies. Same to you, dude. Same to you. It's crazy. We didn't really talk at work a whole lot until recently. But yeah, no, sad to see you as well for home. Yeah, for home, got you. So I assume not like an art piece chair then. Not when I say art piece, you know, I mean like something your friend made or something you made. I assume it's more like a commercial work from home chair. Nice portfolio. Thank you.
Where you're taking a variable and increasing it by some amount, by 1, by 5, by 10, etc. This is something that is all everywhere. It's just...
I don't think I've ever shown this. You can, kind of hard to see here, but I don't have a chair in this studio aside from the beanbag in the corner, just because I'm trying to stand up more. So I have my standing desk going all the time. It's a prototype of a chair the person who was the tech before me designed. Whoa, that's awesome. Awesome. So it is like a personalized chair. That's cool. That's way cooler than what I was picturing of just like a desk chair from like Staples or something. That's actually really exciting, so that's cool.
All the time in code. And so anything that's really common in programming, typically
I do gotta get a chair for this studio though, but at the moment, I'm enjoying standing. Feels healthy, feels good.
Programmers have figured out a shorthand way of writing it, and this is no exception. A shorthand way of writing this is actually the following.
I'll send a pic of my new one. It's old, dusty, but so much comfier than the one I had before. Cool. Get healthy for me. Yeah, I will. Will do. But yeah, no, definitely do. I want to see it. I want to check it out. Also gonna put another link just so it's easier for me to see. Oh, typed in my name too. Why did it do that? I copied and pasted the message. I didn't want to copy and paste my name there. There we go. What's going on in processing right now? Good question here. Yeah, there we go. Actually, let me type that one more time. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, what's going on in processing right now? We are still learning about making our own variables. So kind of continuing off of last time. Bingo, you got it. So yeah, I'm just working on making variables, which was the name of the last chapter we worked on. And then this one's called incrementation operation. So if we go into our code from last time here. So yeah, you probably remember this drawing from this animation from last time. I guess the drawing is an animation. But anyways, so I made this animation last time, and what's it called? So we defined and initialized the variable up here. And then this is the incrementation operation, which is the code at the end that tells us that the variable is going to increment over time and increase. So this chapter is focusing in on that section and showing us like shortened versions that you can type for that, and that's what I'm about to take notes on. Then what's the name of the next one? And then after this chapter, which hopefully we can get to today, which actually I didn't realize it's already 6:18. We might not get to, but the next chapter is on random numbers. So that seems very helpful and interesting too, because I feel like random numbers in code, that's what allows things to work out naturally, and you're less rigid and algorithmic, even though that's exactly what it is. And I think this book, The Nature of Code, speaking of which, I think one of the first chapters is on randomness. Yeah, chapter 0, randomness. So I was right. And this book is all about simulating natural systems with code. So very cool. Yeah. The more I look at this book, the more I'm excited to work from it on stream. I think that's what we're going to do next before we get into Godot. Maybe not work from the book from beginning to end, because as you can see, it's pretty thick. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, we're working on incrementation operations. So here, let me go back a few. Start from the beginning of this chapter here.
The random numbers. All right, welcome back. I am about to talk about random numbers, which is very exciting. But before I get there, I just want to look at this statement, circle x equals circle x plus 5, a bit more, and talk about a kind of odd syntax thing that occurs in a lot of processing examples that you might have already seen or certainly will see. So this kind of statement where you're taking a variable and increasing it by some amount, by 1, by 5, by 10, etc. This is something that is everywhere. It's just, you write it all the time in code. And so anything that's really common in programming, typically there are programmers who have figured out a shorthand way of writing it. And this is no exception. A shorthand way of writing this is actually the following.
So I'll say we tend to write incrementations all the time while coding. Whenever this is the case, there are usually, I'll say usually when this is the case, actually I'll say, to clarify, usually when, something is typed a lot in code, there will be shorthands for it. Sorry, my ears started ringing all of a sudden. I said sorry just because I was like about to stop talking for a second, but then it just like increased in volume really loud all of a sudden. That was kind of weird. All right, it went away. Does that ever happen to you all? I would say it's I know it doesn't happen enough to be tinnitus. Is that the word? Yeah, tinnitus. And I've asked people about it before, and I think it's pretty common, the frequency which it happens to me, because it only happens like once every couple of months where I'll get like a loud ringing in one of my ears, and then I like push my finger against my ear and it slowly dissipates and goes away. But yeah, it feels like tinnitus, but it's not, at least not to my knowledge. Pombrox, welcome. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. Welcome back. Once in a while, I guess, slight pitch that comes and goes fast. Cool. That's exactly how I describe it. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, that's exactly what just happened to me. What's tinnitus again? Tinnitus is I don't know what the right word for it is. It's not a disease, but essentially if you're exposed to loud music, or not just music, if you're exposed, Pombrox, yeah, how are you? Thanks again for joining. How are you doing, Pombrox? But yeah, tinnitus, it's a ringing in your ear that happens from too much exposure to loud sounds. So a lot of musicians have, I like the correction there. A lot of musicians will have tinnitus as they get older because they went to a lot of concerts, they performed a lot without earplugs. That's why it's so important to wear earplugs. I'm usually really good about wearing earplugs when I go to concerts because all of my art teachers had, not art teachers, all my music teachers had tinnitus too from performing, and they would tell me just how important it was to wear headphones. So yeah, if you go to concerts and you don't want tinnitus, that's my recommendation of the stream. I was thinking about it, it's funny I say that because I was thinking at the beginning of the stream about having like a weekly, what's the word I'm looking for? Not weekly, a daily recommendation too of like an album I've been listening to, just something fun to start off the stream. But as it is, we don't have enough time for streams, so take care of those hearing things, boys. Yeah, exactly. Cool. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Not much. Yeah, well, glad you're doing well nonetheless. So yeah, let's jump back into the code here. 1 second. So we tend to write incrementation operations all the time while coding. Usually when something is typed a lot in code, there will be shorthands for it. Yeah, I think we're caught up to date with the tutorial.
Circle X plus equals 5. And this means that if I wanted to increase circle X of writing this is actually a shorthand way of writing it. And this is no exception. A shorthand way of writing this is actually the following. Circle X plus equals 5.
A shorthand for writing circle X equals, oops, forgot I'm not typing yet. Circle X equals circle X plus 5 semicolon is circle X plus equals 5 semicolon.
This means that if I wanted to increase circle X by 1, I could say circle X plus equals 1. So this is take the value of circle X and set it to itself plus 1. Well, this operation is so common whenever you want to increment something by 1 that there's even a shorthand for the shorthand, which is the following. Circle X plus plus.
Circle X plus plus. I'll say variable. Actually, let me rephrase this. An incrementation operation by 1 is so common that there is a shorthand written as variable plus plus to signify an incrementation by 1. Incrementation operation that adds 1. And I'll say, so circle X plus equals 1 semicolon is the same as circle X plus plus semicolon.
This might be familiar to you. Maybe you've heard of the programming language C++. Well, the reason why it's called C++ is because there was a programming language, and still is a programming language called C, and the next version of it, the expanded version, incremented by 1, it's a little fancier, it's brand new, it's not C, it's C++. And there will come a time, even in
I'll say C++ is a reference to being an incrementation of the programming language C. Spelled programming wrong, but didn't pick up on that. So that's something that is super interesting. Probably not something I'll use in coding, the reference to C++, but that's super interesting that's why C++ is the name. It has the name it has. That's interesting.
Series where I start using these shorthands, but generally for me, for what I'm trying to do in teaching the basics of programming, and certainly I think when starting out, I find this to be a more readable line of code that says exactly what it's doing. And finally, I'll also mention that these...
Okay, so when I started the stream, I said that it's always easier when I first start out with coding, or like Max MSP or whatever I'm working on, to never use shorthands, just to stick to the original code, like here, circle x equals circle x plus 5, because that makes a lot of sense. If I go back and read the code later, that's a lot easier for me to pick up on than just seeing circle x plus plus. And it's like, what's happening there? Now that I say that, I feel like it is good to be familiar with the shorthands. That way, if I'm reading someone else's code, I can understand what's going on. If I go back, and I should start using it myself too. That way I've practiced with using it, because I feel like once I use circle x plus plus or variable plus plus over and over again, I'll start to memorize it a little bit more quickly and pick up on it in other people's code. But who knows? Maybe I'll jump back and forth between the shorthand and the original. We shall see, I suppose.
Kinds of shorthand operations also work with multiply, divide, and minus. So I could say circle x minus minus, which means
Shorthand operations also work with multiply, divide, and what was the other one?
Mention that these kinds of shorthand operations also work with multiply, divide, and minus. So
And minus.
I could say circle x minus minus, which means...
Wouldn't that just be subtraction? I'll write multiply, divide, and subtract. For example, we can write circle x minus minus semicolon. I assume that's what he's about to say, to signify an incrementation operation that decreases by 1.
Circle x equals circle x minus 1, or I could say something like circle x divide equal 2, which means circle x equals circle x divided by 2.
Actually, sorry, got distracted looking on a stream thing. Where are you from? I don't want to share that on stream. Sorry, thanks for the question, but not gonna share that on stream here.
Like circle x divide equal 2, which I could say minus minus, which means circle x equals circle x minus 1, or I could say something like circle x divide equal 2, which means circle x equals circle x divided by 2.
Or for example, circle x divide equals 2 is the same as circle x equals, let me skip this song, a little too slow. Circle x equals circle x plus, not plus, I'm copying the code over there. Circle x divided by 2 semicolon. Yeah, I had to make sure that was written correctly. It is. From Florida, welcome from Florida. Welcome from Florida. Hope you're doing well. Hope it's sunny over there.
Coming back to the code, just to prove that this is the case, I'm going to change this to plus equal 5 and run it. The exact same result. And if I change it to circle x plus plus, there it is, only it's just increasing by 1 because plus plus means increase by 1. I'm a little torn about what I'm increasing it to circle x plus plus. There it is, only it's just increasing by 1 because plus plus means.
We also got another Texan in chat. I say another, I don't know why I said another. No one else here, I assume, is from Texas, but yeah.
Increase by 1.
Did you live anywhere else? You don't have to answer it on stream if you don't want to, Joe, but I feel like I don't know if it's just James Kim being from a million different states that's blurring my perception, but I feel like you might have been from another state in addition to Texas, if I'm not mistaken. But it might just be because you also had overlap with James, and James, again, had lived in a bunch of different states. Nice. How long have you been programming? Properly since the beginning of the stream, about a month ago. This is like my first time properly learning programming from the ground up, at least properly to me. I guess there's no proper way to learn anything really, but I feel like this is my first time really learning it from the ground up. But I dabbled it in a here and there in college, so I would work on coding and programming here and there in college, but it was very much by project, not to like learn the software, if that makes sense. Keep grinding. Thank you. Yeah, it's been good so far. Are you a programmer yourself?
Torn about what I'm about to do, but this is also probably a good time for me to just change the variable name circle x.
That's right. I knew your grandparents lived in Mississippi. Yeah, no, I remember your family, yeah, as you said, has roots in Mississippi, but I didn't remember if you like lived there at all growing up or anything. That's cool. I spent time there. Got you. Dude, I feel like I've had to talk to you at some point about Southern food. When I went to Digital Artists, I do artwork, like, cool. I assume there's a second part to that message. Lived there in 2020, right? Yes, that I knew. Oh, I didn't know you were born in Memphis, huh? Very cool. From all over the South. I moved to Texas ages 1 to 18. Got you. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Southern food, dude. So I went to, I think I told you this. I went to the South for the first time with work right now. I first went to Georgia. And then Southern food is gas for real. Alberto, I'll see your comment in just a moment. A meow from Instagram. Who sent us a meow? Liz, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. We're just hanging out coding right now. But yeah, dude, so I went to Georgia for work. That was my first time. One of my coworkers got Southern food with me. Oh my God, dude. It's literally some of the best food I've had in my life. Barbecue in the north here is not the same at all. It's really not. So I went to Georgia, and then I had Southern food in Texas too. And I say Southern food, it was really just barbecue that I was having. But oh my God, it was incredible. Yeah. From Alberto, 2D, 3D models, animations, visual novels, Twitch elements, line art. Cool. Very cool. I love barbecue. Yeah. No, it changed. And the thing that changed my perception of barbecue too was the kind of barbecue sauce I was having, because I feel like a lot of barbecue sauce in the north is very sweet and sugary, but I feel like it was the like vinegary vinegary barbecue sauce I had in the South for the first time that really made me fall in love with barbecue food. But anyways, enough for a hungry tangent. Let me get back into finishing up this chapter. We're just gonna finish up the chapter here and then wrap up stream.
Just x, and then say x plus equals 5. This is also another personal style thing. what should I name the variable? Well, if I'm going to have a circle and a square, maybe I want to have variables called circle x and square x to really differentiate them. But if I just have one thing and I only have one thing for which I need one x, maybe calling it x is fine. I could have, if I had multiple things, I could have an x.
We're going to finish up this chapter and then I'll wrap up stream, but let me go back a little bit.
Circle.
Also, I feel like we've only had a few songs that I wasn't into. Otherwise, Spotify's been doing good this stream with picking music from my playlist. Would love to see our portfolio. Not today, Alberta, but thank you for asking. Let me see.
Square, maybe I want to have variables called circle x and square x to really differentiate them. But if I just have one thing and I only have one thing for which I need one x, maybe calling it x is fine. I could have, if I had multiple things, I could have an x1 and an x2. There's so many different ways to name your variables. And frankly, I could just call this kitten. And I could copy paste it here and use kitten everywhere because I love kittens, and that's what I feel like today. I feel like calling my variables kitten.
Cute that they animated a cat just for the kitten for that 5-second, not joke, but reference. It's funny.
Probably not a great idea because it doesn't really tell me about anything that I'm actually doing with the code, even though it brings me a little happiness to see the word kitten there. But I can't tell you what to do. You should name variables in a way that makes sense to you, that will be helpful to you as you work on the code more, as you take a break from it and come back to it later. Think about what is going to have the most meaning for you. And for me right now, I'm going to go back to X because that's the least amount of typing and I have one thing and I want it to be at its X position. That's going to work just great.
So I feel like the second half of that chapter, we kind of learned from the chapter before that you can kind of name your variables whatever you want. But just for the sake of it, I'm going to write down we can simply name our variables X. We can really name our variables whatever we want. Whatever makes the most sense for us. Jan Diego. Mr. Dai, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're doing well. We're just wrapping up now, so sorry about that, you know, we're just wrapping up now, but thanks for stopping by nonetheless. We were just learning about variables and processing, finishing up this chapter. We got through exactly one chapter today. It was a short one, but hey, got through it. I had an exhausting day and did not sleep well, so I'm happy to have made it through one chapter. It's still hi from Instagram. Who said hi over on Instagram? Let me see. Yukine, hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I love Dai. Yes, Mr. Dai. Yes, Mr. Dai Agony. You good? Just got back home. Nice. Rest, yeah, no, appreciate it. Joe, so much more than words can explain. Wait, what were you referencing there? Sorry. That's another example of the joke in chat not landing. We'll have to complete my recent project. Will you see you in the next stream? Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for following. Thanks for joining the stream. Thank you for stopping by, Alberta. Oh my god, tell her I said hi. Yeah, Yukine, Jan Diego's watching on Twitch right now and he just said hi. Yeah, hi from Jan. Shout out Yukine from Jan. Good, so good to see your video. Thank you so much. Thank you. Here, now you can see me full screen. You can only see the middle column over on Instagram, but over on Twitch and YouTube you can see my whole stream. You can see me. I'm up in the corner over on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, hi, Jan Diego. Yukine says hi. What a sexy man. Thank you, Jan. Thank you. Alberto, see you, sir. Yeah, see you later. Thanks again for joining. You can call me Zach, by the way, instead of sir, but appreciate the formality nonetheless. For real, lol. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so we're just wrapping up the chapter here. Here, let me add a title here. Jan says, love you, Yukine, you too, Zach. Thanks for calling me sir too, Jan. When do you stream? Mondays through Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern to 6:30 p.m. I want to catch the entire thing next month. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, Mondays through Thursday at 5:30. So occasionally on Sundays I'll do a longer stream, but Instagram only lets me stream for about an hour or so. But yeah, thank you for stopping by at the end here. We're going a little late today because I started a little bit late. Usually I'm like 5 to 10 minutes late to stream, but I try to be on time for 5:30. Basically when I get out of work for about an hour every day, Monday through Thursday. And yeah, Instagram, I just kind of stream on Instagram so that people can find me and know that I'm live, because that's where people actually follow me. But it is much better to watch. It's a much better viewing experience on YouTube or Twitch because you don't actually have to leave the app open and you can see the full thing. But you know, whatever you prefer. And yeah, thank you though. It's here, let me mention this. It's the kind of stream where it's like nice background noise as you're working on your own projects too. You know, if you're painting, drawing, working on your own project, that's kind of what I intend these streams to be, is like a podcast or like background noise. Not really something to intently watch like a movie, but you've probably figured that out already. But yeah, that's kind of like the intent. And then I have documentation of all of my projects. You know, I can see everything I've worked on. I can see how I've progressed on my projects, and yeah, it's just fun to have recordings of everything. And I also love being able to chat with people when they stop by, like you, like Jan, like Joe, like everyone else here. So it's always, it's kind of like school in that regard. It's nice to just pop in and say hi to people. And yeah, what was the other thing I was going to do? Oh, Instagram kicks me out after an hour. So I'm going to continue streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but if the stream randomly ends on Instagram, that is why. I think it should do it just about any moment here. So wanted to give you that heads up before it quit out. But yeah, here, let me add the title here for oh, what did I do? Oh, what just happened? Oh, wait. Okay, stream's working again. I clicked Command Speed to make the text in here bold, but I was still on my streaming software and everything just went black, so that was a little scary. I was worried that the stream just crashed all of a sudden, but here we are. We're still working. So anyways, this is the chapter we completed today. So what did we do today? Let's recap the stream. So let me see. Sorry, just checking one more thing. So yeah, we recapped the last stream, briefly showed actually, no, that's not what we did today. That's what we did last time. So I'll say let me delete all of this. I'll say we completed the variables. Nope. What was this one called?
These
This
kinds of
incrementation operations. Completed the incrementations operations. What did I spell wrong? Incrementations. Is that wrong? Excuse me. Incrementations. Why does that say that's wrong? But it's supposed to be incrementation. Oh, that's why it's just not supposed to be plural. So we completed incrementation operations from the coding train over here. Oh, Instagram just ended. Let me see. Bang, just as someone else was joining. It's too bad. I'll let it play out for a moment there. So yeah, completed incrementation operations chapter and learn processing by the coding stream. And now we're about to make a agenda for next time, which we're just cruising through tutorials now. So the next one is called random numbers. So we'll begin the chapter random numbers and learn processing by the coding train. Then we'll make an agenda for next time. So unfortunately, also Jan, Joe, unfortunately I can't stream tomorrow, and for everyone else here, but I'll stream again on Wednesday. So agenda for Wednesday's stream, which is September, let me see what Wednesday is, 25th. Is this all correct? Yeah. Easy day. Oh, and then I also want to update, start a writing blog on my website. I didn't get to talk about this today, but I did want to update and talk about the fact that I'm going to start my own little blog. My YouTube channel will be a part of that. I'll talk about it more next time because I really do got to wrap up stream now. But yeah, I'm gonna start posting YouTube videos and little blog posts and writings about art, music, whatever. So yeah, I'll have that to share in the near future. But for now, I'm focusing on the streams as my top priority. But yeah, Jan, Joe, Alberta, Yukine, Liz, who else joins? Pomp Rocks, everyone else who joined, thank you all so much for stopping by. I stream Mondays through Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time for about an hour. And if you're watching the VOD right now, be sure to follow or subscribe if you're on Twitch or YouTube. That way you know when I go live. And thank you all for joining. Hope it was nice to have on in the background as you worked on your projects. And stick around. I'll be rating someone in just a moment. Could not have said it better myself, Joe. Sturdy bingo for real. But yeah, stick around, y'all. Thank you all so much for joining, and I'll see you Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, y'all.